Have you ever stood on the brink of a major life change, feeling both excited and terrified? That's exactly where the Israelites found themselves as they prepared to enter into the Promised Land. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal moments in Israel's history, their miraculous crossing of the Jordan River. The story is a powerful reminder of what can happen when we put God's presence at the forefront of our lives. Our key truth today is this: victory comes when we prioritize God's presence and follow His instructions even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. As we explore Joshua chapters 3 through 5, we see a remarkable series of events unfold. The Israelites are finally on the cusp of entering the land God promised them, but there's a significant obstacle: the Jordan River at flood stage. How will they cross? Joshua gives a remarkable instruction in Joshua chapter 3 and verses 3 and 4. When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, you are to move out from your positions and follow it. Then you will know which way to go, since you have never been this way before. The ark of the covenant represented God's presence among the people. By putting it out front, Joshua was essentially saying, we need God's presence to go before us if we're going to succeed. This is a crucial lesson for us today. How often do we charge ahead with our own plans, forgetting to seek God's presence and guidance first? Then Joshua tells the people, consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Joshua 3:5. This reminds us that if we want to see God work in powerful ways, we need to prepare our hearts. We need to set ourselves apart for His purpose. What happens next is nothing short of miraculous. As soon as the priests carrying the ark step into the Jordan, the water stops flowing, piling up in a heap upstream. The entire nation crosses on dry ground, just as their parents had done at the Red Sea 40 years earlier. This miracle serves multiple purposes. It confirms Joshua's leadership, echoing what God did through Moses. It demonstrates God's power to the Israelites and strikes fear into the hearts of the Canaanites. And it provides a powerful memory for future generations. Joshua understood the importance of remembering God's mighty deeds. He has 12 men, one from each tribe, take stones from the middle of the Jordan to create a memorial. He tells them, in the future, when your children ask you, what do these stones mean? Tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. Joshua 4, verses 6 and 7. As the Israelites enter the Promised Land, we see a series of significant events. One, they celebrate Passover, connecting their present with God's past deliverance. Two, the manna that had sustained them for 40 years stops, signaling a new era of provision. And three, the men are circumcised, renewing their covenant with God. Each of these actions reinforces their identity as God's chosen people and prepares them for the challenges ahead. The ceasing of manna is particularly significant. Exodus 16:35 tells us the Israelites ate manna for 40 years until they came to a land that they settled. They ate manna until they reached the border of Canaan. This miraculous food had sustained them throughout the desert wanderings. But now it was time for a new chapter. God's provision would continue, but in a different form. Also, we continually see the theme of God's presence bringing victory. Psalm 114 beautifully captures this, describing how nature itself, the sea, the Jordan, mountains, and hills responded to God's presence as He led Israel. The sea looked and fled. The Jordan turned back. The mountains leaped like rams, the hills like lambs. Why was it, sea, that you fled? Why, Jordan, did you turn back? That's Psalms 114, verses 3 through 5. This poetic language emphasizes the awe-inspiring power of God's presence. When God shows up, even nature itself responds. So what does this mean for us today? First, like Joshua, we need to prioritize God's presence in our lives. Are we putting God first, or are we trying to face life's challenges on our own? Second, we need to be willing to obey God's instructions even when they don't make sense to us. The priest had to step into the flooded Jordan before the waters parted. What step of faith is God asking you to take? Third, we need to remember to celebrate God's faithfulness. Create memorial stones in your life to remind you of the great things that God has done. And fourth, we need to be ready for change in how God provides for us. The Israelites had to transition from manna to the produce of the land. Are you open to God meeting your needs in new ways? Remember, the same God who parted the Jordan is with you today. He's calling you to trust Him, to obey Him, and to expect Him to do amazing things in and through your life. Will you, like Joshua and the Israelites, choose to put God's presence first and follow His instructions, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable? If you do, get ready, because God is about to do something amazing. As we close, reflect on this. What Jordan River are you facing right now? How can you prioritize God's presence as you approach that obstacle? As you step out in faith, God will make a way where there seems to be no way.